What has been inspirational is that our little film has inspired other people, young people around the world, to pick up cameras and start filming and ask the question, how does a blind person cross the road? And here we see the results from Nigeria, from Ecuador, and from Kenya.
I'm Miss Maria Kazim.
How did you become blind?
I had cataract as a child. Cataract is an eye defect which I caused as a child as early as 5 years. I see the world around me as beautiful, despite the fact that I can't see. With my eyes, with my imagination and vision, I see the world as beautiful. People don't let you cross the road, especially when they see you with the white skin. People will definitely come to you to help you cross. So most times I don't cross the road myself. People help me cross when they see the white skin with me. It's an identity.
My name is Lawal Temitope Ibrahim. I lost my sight to glaucoma 11 years ago when I was age 13. I've been blind for 11 years.
How do you cross the road?
Absolutely, I do that with the aid of kind-hearted pedestrians.
Do you feel the government has done enough considering how the blind access the road?
No, they've done absolutely nothing concerning the fact that the roads are very, very poor, they are inaccessible, and the government doesn't even put people living with disability into consideration. The environment is highly deplorable. It's not not just blind, but it's not disabled friendly, because it's so difficult that as a disabled person you can't easily navigate your way around, and that constitutes an impediment to your political, social, and economic rights.
My name is Ejiro Sharon Okutie. I had cerebrospinal meningitis at age 11. We used to stay up north, and it wasn't diagnosed early enough. So by the time they diagnosed it, it had already affected my eyes and possibly damaged my eyes as well. The world is a beautiful place to live in if things can be made accessible for blind persons especially. Sometimes I just think about the past and times I used to see, and I feel bad about it, and it just brings the reality of the fact that I can't do some of the things I used to do. In Nigeria, accessing the roads for a blind person is really challenging, because if you live in a city like Lagos State, that is a lot of really populated, and you have so many vehicles on the road, accessing the road is challenging. But I use my guide cane, and the awareness about the guide cane is really improving. I don't think the government has done enough. I know it's a long walk here, but the government has not done enough in ensuring that the environment is accessible for us as blind persons.
And then we met Sebastian, an absolutely inspirational gentleman on Twitter. He's very low-sighted, and this is his story about his city and about the challenges it faces with visually impaired people.
Hola, I'm Sebastian.
And I'm Carolina.
This Sea of Change has arrived to the middle of the world, Ecuador.
And now we're going to show you what are the barriers that a visually impaired person has to go through to cross the city streets of Quito. Join us. The urban landscape of Quito is filled with obstacles and dangers, not only for those who are visually impaired, but to everyone who dares navigate the streets. The sidewalks, pedestrian crossings, and the very streets can be hazard or traps.
This is the reality we want to change, to make our cities inclusive and safe.
Many of the main entertainment places, such as movie theaters and stadiums, do not offer an easy access, and neither do malls. Most of the elevators don't count with braille writing, the access ramps often lead to obstacles, and the stairs are not easy to navigate either.
As we can see, when there are big events such as concerts or soccer matches, the city is chaotic, and even the authorities became an obstacle. Our public servants are not well trained to help the visually impaired either, and they usually have to manage on their own to find a way to cross the street.
The most touristic part of town is not an exception either. The historical heart of the city is probably one of the biggest challenges as a pedestrian. As you can see, these are all consequences of an ill city planning, where things are made just to apply the government requirements, but without any logic or awareness.
The campaigns meant to create inclusive sidewalks for visually impaired has failed on a massive way. The tactile pavement is being used as a decoration instead of being placed to accomplish its purpose.
The greatest example of an inclusive building, which is considered a leading model throughout Latin America, is the CONADIS building, the National Disability Commission. As we could witness throughout its facilities, this building helps the easy mobility and access to all its areas. Through the proper use of braille signs, ramps, floor signals, and help from the staff, this is the most friendly urban space in the city, a true illustration of how we should build and modify our cities in order to make them inclusive and welcoming to all its citizens. But the life of the visually impaired person does not take place inside only one of the city's buildings, where there is still a lot to do.
Hear us, world leaders. It's time to stop being a disabled society for people with special needs.
Do you dare?
What is totally inspirational about these films is that young people are willing to get out there and ask the questions, to challenge the policymakers, and to ask people to make the design of our towns and cities much more healthier and accessible for all. And we challenge all the key stakeholders to come together, watch these films and work out practical solutions with the disabled community to ensure that their needs are met for now and in the future.